I thought it was a very interesting set of panels. They got a wide range of different people represented from across the different industry, from consultants to vendors and operators, and I think they hit on many of the most important trends in the industry, particularly in the revenue management track where we were spending most of our time, where the topics were around market-based pricing and trying to get to one-to-one pricing. And that's been a focus of the industry for a long time, and it was interesting to see how each of the different players in the industry have been moving us, one step closer in each of their organizations.
The thoughts that this conference triggered, and to build up on what Patrick just said, is the fact that it all becomes very relevant when you talk about data collection. And so I wish that probably in the next conference or in the next panel that we see, they'll all talk about the most important piece of data that you need in revenue management to do price elasticity and one-to-one pricing, which is in technical term called the lost business. So everybody in revenue management really focuses right now on capturing the transaction of actually what happened, and also the pricing of what all the competitors of the hotels are doing in the market. But actually the most important piece of data is to capture the events of people that want to book but for whatever reason did not end up booking. And where did that happen, for what date range, and for what price is really the key for what you need to really become very strategic into creating an optimization based on price elasticity.
So I think that there's going to be a focus on a few different areas. One is that the industry within the companies, the operating companies, they're realizing that there needs to be a continued focus on training and systems. I think the vendors are going to continue to streamline processes so that it makes it easier to use by all of the different users at individual hotels. And I hope that there'll be a focus on data. So as Marco described, the regrets and denials data, the lost business, is something that you can't really do that analysis unless you are working with your technologists as well as your other departments. So for instance, in order to get accurate lost business, you need to be involving your call center. Because when a call does not result in a booking, that call center agent needs to properly record that as a regret or a denial. And so once that data exists, that's when then you can figure out a way to get it into your systems in the proper format, do the analysis, and then translate that into real insights for people to use at the property level.
And the best thing that can happen to this industry is that if all the big players get together and actually decide, A, to capture this data, but also to share it among each other, of course in anonymized form, because the only way that you can truly understand the demand and the price elasticity of each customer is by having market-wide views of total demand coming to that market and how they react at different pricing conditions. Unfortunately, each hotel in one market, or even if you have multiple hotels in one market, you can never get the full views and the full depth of data that you need to do the analysis that they're talking about. So I hope that that happens in the next 2-3 years.
I'm certainly hopeful. I think all the pieces are there. We have appropriate focus, and as long as everyone around the table is pushing towards the same goals and has the same focus, we should be able to achieve that.